I get seasonal allergies, but I tell you, my family, we went to Alaska and it was a group of us, so a group of families. It was a fantastic trip. But I tell you, we got off that ship and at least 80% of us were sick after that, right? So, you're thinking about it and you're on a floating city for a week. And so, you expect to run into a few things. But what is astonishing to me is that throughout my life, I've been really good at getting better pretty quickly. And so when my sister reached out and let me know that she was sick too, I said, listen, let me put you together a care pack and get it to you so that you feel better quickly like I have. So I want to share with you my care pack because I think it's very, very, very important. Now, what I did for her for my care pack is I actually took the products and I put them in little baggies. But I know my sister. She's very smart. She's an orthodontist. She's beautiful. And she's my big sister. So she thinks she's, much smarter than me. And she probably is. So I had to let her know what was in the baggies. And I had to let her know a little bit about everything that I was giving her, or else she wasn't going to take it. So let me share it with you so that when you end up in a situation where you're like, damn, I'm down and out, but I got to get better quickly, you will have some choices. Okay, let me see. Oh, okay, so look here. I gave her one of each of these, not one of each, but a dose of this. So you see the probiotic, right? You see the olive rex. This is kind of like a botanical antibiotic so that she didn't, and the family didn't start asking me for some Z-Pack. Listen, we could do the same thing with olive extract. Then we have ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. We have zinc, magnesium, and vitamin D3. Now, I know that my family members typically are low in magnesium and vitamin D3 because we suffer a lot from hypertension. So that's always going to be helpful. The ascorbic acid is a huge antioxidant. So we got to give that. And then zinc, most of us are zinc deficient. So a little spice of zinc goes a long way. But I'll tell you, this product is really, I think, what saves our day. This one is called oscillococcinum, and this is homeopathic, right? But it has gotten to the point now where it is very much available at Walgreens, CVS, and everywhere else. I tell you, she texted me the next morning and was like, you know what, I feel so much better. And so when I really started talking to her, she said, yeah, I think your little vitamins helped a little bit. But I tell you, as soon as I took that vial of that stuff that dissolves in your mouth, I started feeling better immediately. So it's funny because during COVID, the country India came forward and said, you know what, we are going to, because COVID is such an issue, we're going to ramp up the distribution of homeopathic remedies and Ayurvedic medicine. And, of course, our country, we laughed at it like, oh, you definitely need to have some of our fancy medications. But they were like, well, we got this. We can't afford all your fancy medications. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And that's using some homeopathic and Ayurvedic medicines. So this is my favorite over-the-counter medicine, as a matter of fact, because what it does is you take and dissolve the nosodes, or the little tiny sweet pellets, underneath your tongue 3 times a day. Now, a secret is this. This pack right here is about $30 in some places. Some places it's 20 something bucks, but it's got 30 doses. Each of those vials, they tell you to take a whole vial a day for 3 days, a whole vial 3 times a day. Really, you can just take a little bit from the vial, hold it under your tongue, let it dissolve, and do that 3 times a day. And that's just as effective as taking the whole thing 3 times a day. That way, a pack like this will last you a lifetime. And what you do is the minute you start to feel flu-like, I mean the achy, the sneezy, the coughy, the I'm so tired, I can barely get up, the dizziness, all of that, I start taking oscillococcinum. And I'll tell you, it works faster than anything I've ever really seen. So the other things are more so for support. So if you noticed at the end, I actually had too a probiotic, because I honestly feel like, and I'm sure, 90% of our immune system lies in the gut. And that bacteria has to be good in order for our immune system to work properly. So I gave her some probiotics to start to, along with it, because we want to get to the root cause of the problem and flush it out, right? So interesting thing. I know, and you notice I said some people got sick and some didn't. Now, there was a study that was done around the time of the big thing that happened, in 2019 and 20 and kept us all in our houses. And what they found is that African Americans that had higher levels of melatonin in their body, in their system, when they caught that thing, they had a tendency to be fine, had short durations of it, and got better quicker and stayed out of the hospitals and the emergency rooms. A couple people on the trip were taking melatonin because in Alaska, the light, it's sunlit from, till like 11 o'clock at night, right? So it's sometimes hard to convince your body it's time to lay down. So people were taking melatonin. The melatonin takers on the trip did not get sick. And you got to ask, well, why is that, Dr. Rachael? Well, believe it or not, melatonin is a master antioxidant. And so when you're actually taking it, you're trying to rebalance your circadian rhythm so that you can actually sleep. It's actually one of those hormones that kicks in. Remember when I was telling you how rest is so important? It's actually one of those hormones that kicks in and helps make resting and sleeping that much more powerful, right? So that's my little concoction of what I take when I cannot move. I have a tendency not to take anything. But if I get to the point where I cannot move and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to get better quickly, that is my go-to. And I'll also say this, I flush with a lot of water and I sleep. I may make it so that I can sleep for like 12 hours, 16 hours. I'll get up in between that, move around, drink some water, do the thing, and then go on back and rest. Because remember, our cells regenerate themselves when they are at rest. Awesome.